Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man wala. This is my third trip to Mombasa, and every time I come I feel like a real I'm learning something new. It's a place where you learn a lot. It's rich culturally, it's rich in terms of its peoples, and because it was a place which was almost in many ways founded upon diversity, the eclectic nature of people's customs and the way they interact with one another is very unique. So it has an ancient history, and in slightly more contemporary times you have the kind of the arrival of the Omanis, and then the Portuguese came, then the Omanis, then the Portuguese, then the Omanis. But during this time there was an influx of people from India, from Oman, from Yemen, and then you have the indigenous African culture, and there are hundreds of indigenous African languages. People think that it's, Africa, or even in Mombasa they speak one language, but they have their own tribes and they have their own customs, and they have so this rich eclectic mixture and cocktail of splendid, beautiful cultures was unified. And for me it's always been one of the most authentic expressions of genuine cultural harmony. And in a harmony there are different notes. It doesn't mean that everybody's saying playing the same note. They're playing different notes, but they work in tandem to produce something which is vocally beautiful and aesthetically beautiful. And you can see that in the architecture of Mombasa. You can see the Omani influence. You can see the Persian influence. You can see the Indian influence. You can see the Yemeni influence. And you can see this, and what's great is it's not a relic. It's not any museum piece. It's still being lived in. I've been blessed to visit many of the homes here in Old Town, which is the old district of Mombasa, the old traditional Swahili district where people would come. It's on the coast, right on the coast. So they had an incredible fishing tradition, which would have been similar to their experience in Oman and on the coast in those areas. And this great diaspora, which we forget touches into India, places like Kerala and other parts of India, the culture spread. Now, people can say ostensibly it was through trade, and there was a reality through trading. There's no doubt in that. But that which really bound people was not trade. There had to be something underlying, because there are many, if you look in a contemporary context, there are expressions of trade, but it's cutthroat. And it doesn't necessarily mean that people are getting along. Now, in many ways, you could say like wartime is now, war is one of the, unfortunately, one of the great fuelers for commerce, and that wasn't the experience in Mombasa. It was one which was based upon unity. And, someone said that unity does not require uniformity, and you see this in Mombasa. You don't have to all be the same, but in order to be unified, because our differences can be celebrated. And this is one of the lessons that I always learn in Mombasa, that there's so much difference, and there's so much range, and there's so much expressions of beauty. But if it's bound by deeper principles, love, respect, tolerance, which aren't just kind of, you know, confined to a political slogan, or, you know, some kind of rally for somebody's kind of, you know, whatever they're into at the time. This was real amongst people, and you still taste this here today. That's what I always feel like, the love, the welcoming, the way people are. I mean, you can hear the cars going by. Why? Because this is real. This isn't a kind of museum piece, once again. It's not being curated. And that authenticity is something that, you know, coming from the West, coming from the UK, like, I think we're craving. You know, we're craving that living history, that sacred nostalgia. And it's a great honor for me to come here to Mombasa and experience this. So I'd like to thank all the people of Mombasa, all the people of Kenya, all the people of East Africa from their hospitality. They're a hospitable people. Swahili people by default are very hospitable. Like, they just give, you know, they'll force you to eat if you go to a house. And this is beautiful, like, you know. And we need to understand more of this, and we need to take some of these traits on, because there's a reason why these people influenced the indigenous people of this land. And it often wasn't through just speaking all the time, it was through hospitality and generosity and kindness, and not only tolerance, because it's one thing to tolerate someone, but it's something else to really welcome them. And, you know, I've been not only tolerated here, but welcomed, and I don't think I'm unique in this. So, you know, people need to experience this firsthand. They need to smell the smells of Mombasa. One of the first things that's so nostalgic, that, you know, when I come into Mombasa, I smell the guava tree, and it's such a powerful smell. That smell, that, you know, that sense of smell, and the sounds, the tuk-tuk going by, and this is very like. It's beautiful. The call to prayer, and people speaking with each other in a way which is like open and, you know, sincere, and greeting you in the street. Like, it's rare to find that in Manchester. Like, we just don't really get that anymore. But that's what makes us human, and we need this top up of our humanity from time to time to remind us what it means to be human. You know, we're here now, sat on the floor, connected to the earth, exchanging through human dialogue, and this has to be the way forward. Like, development and progress is not confined to dry, cold mechanisms and technology which doesn't have a soul. Like, as much as we engage with social media with a good intention, in a real way to connect, the real connection is with the heart. And this is what we've experienced here in Mombasa, and this is what the people of Mombasa have taught us and continue to teach us. So, yeah, alhamdulillah, thank you to everyone.